The beauty of the Northeast, this naturist New Hampshire background sets the scene for our first Nfrn Open Modified Series race of the season, the first of four, taking place here today at White Mountain Motorsports Park. Hello everybody, my name is Colin Denton. On the call today for this first edition of the Nfrn Open Modified Series. And if you're unfamiliar with how this series plays out, let's give you an overview. We hope to have this at the beginning of the season, but not enough signups at the beginning. Now we're making it open to the part-time truck drivers, which is automatic entry, no extra registration needed. It's 4 races, non-points paying throughout the season, starting at races 4, 8, 12, and 15 on the truck schedule. 5 equally divided groups, and the top 2 from each heat will advance to a main feature. Let's give you a little overview of where we are at today. The middle of New Hampshire, just off the side of Interstate 93, is where you'll find White Mountain Motorsports Park, a population of just over 500 at North Woodstock, New Hampshire, 305 miles away from our Truck Series race at Trenton, New Jersey. This town a hub for logging in the mid-1800s and became a staying place for tourists in the scenic White Mountain region where we are at the foothills of. We are going to waste no time getting into racing. Here is your starting grid for group number 1. We have Justin Garza starting at the front, Tyler Sage on his outside, Tanya Breyer, Chris Stottlemyre in row 2, Andrew Gorman, Brett Graham in row 3, Brandon Figueroa and Jordan Probst in row 4, Adam Lewis and Justin Carr in row number 5. This is the only heat that will have 10 drivers, the rest having 9. Green flag flies on heat number 1. And Tyler Sage got off to a great jump over pole sitter Justin Garza. And now the Zero car trying to fight back on the inside as they head into turn number 3. Tyler Sage came into the league at race number 3 in the Truck Series. Garza came in race number 2 and made the race at Pikes Peak. And now he's finding his way back to the inside and trying to retain his lead. But now it looks like Tanya Breyer's trying to come in and ruin both of their shows. Breyer's a newcomer into the league this week and trying to see if she can make a flashy entrance. Try to establish some momentum as they head into the Truck Series race at Trenton. She'll lead lap number 3. We have 15 laps per heat and 30 in the main feature, as Tyler Sage now trying to look to the inside and get the spot on Garza, which will be the cutoff spot to make the feature. Looking at Adam Lewis, he had to fight from the rear of the field, and he's made every truck race so far this year. We expect a lot of him out of his driving skills, but it doesn't look like he did too well in qualifying, but already up to 5th place in this heat. Also looking at Brett Graham, he came in last week at Twin Ring. He's fighting near the rear of the field. Now we got Brandon Figueroa on the inside trying to fight Tyler Sage for the spot at 2nd place. Already midway through this heat, but the 20 car trying to get his way into the feature. Justin Garza just behind him, and Tyler Sage is going to fade back a little bit on that outside line, as he's not going to be able to get the momentum just as that rubber finds its way to the top of that groove. He can't hold the spot. Now he's back to 4th. Justin Garza back into 3rd place, trying to see if he can fight his way around Figueroa and get into the feature. A little bit further back, Justin Carr is another new incomer for this week. He's gotten around Brett Graham for 9th place. They're fighting at the rear of the field, and at this point, it looks like they're not going to be able to contend to get into the next round. They might have to find their way back to Trenton and get some momentum there. Jordan Probst came in last week as well, or rather last race at Twin Ring, and trying to fight his way inside Adam Lewis for 5th place. 5 laps to go in this heat. Probst a little loose off the corner as he is trying to find his way to the inside of the 05 car, but he's really not giving him any chance. Tanya Breyer continues to hold the lead, and Brandon Figueroa seems if he can chase her down, but what he's really got to hope is that Justin Garza stays behind him, and so he can make the next round stay in the hunt for this main feature. We also see Andrew Gorman, another newcomer this week. He's made his way around Adam Lewis, who has now dropped to 7th place, which is kind of surprising for the driver that's made all the truck races so far this season. And now Gorman's going to see if he can get us a final spot and make the top 5 in these results, but it's not going to be good enough for making the feature race. White flag flies, and now Tanya Breyer going to see if she can pull it around for one more lap. Brandon Figueroa on the bubble spot, but looks like he has a comfortable lead against Justin Garza. Tanya Breyer is going to come around and take the checkered flag on heat number 1. Brandon Figueroa also going to qualify for the next round. And Jordan Probst into the wall, going into turn number 1. That's after they took the checkered flag. Probst got 6th in that round. But a little bit of scuffling. 6th car is going to limp it around. A little bit of damage on the rear of the car. But he certainly didn't have a shot at it as related to the making the feature race. He beat Adam Lewis back to the line on the outside, but then the 05 got into his rear left wheel. And so that's what turned him around. So a big shot on the back of the 6 car. I feel like the 05 came up there at the end of the race as they were trying to end up going on the pit lane, but that's on the backstretch, and they probably had a lot more room there than Lewis was giving him, so hard to say what happened in that situation, but either way, those two are not going to make the show. Tanya Breyer and Brandon Figueroa are going to make the show, and both of them are newcomers this week, so very impressive showing by those two drivers in their first appearance in the league. Justin Garza, who made Pikes Peak, not going to make the show. Tyler Sage is also going to be on the outside, as well as Andrew Gorman. Jordan Probst and Adam Lewis mentioned that they would not make it. Lewis a big surprise considering his success in the Truck Series so far. Chris Stottlemyre, Brett Graham, and Justin Carr also at the rear of the field for this first heat. Now we move on to heat number 2. Tristan Ludette and Jonathan Wong will be the front row for this one. Luke Evans and Gabe Finney line up just behind them in row number 2. Richard Fridge and Isaac Nichols in row number 3. Richard Morris and Blake Andrews in row 4. Vincent Strongberg rounds out the field in the last row. Only 9 cars in this heat. They're going to see the green flag right here for heat number 2. And this time Ludette gets a better run into turn number 1 than Garza did in the first heat. Wong tries to fight back to the outside in his first appearance in the league. He's not going to make it work, but now he's going to have to fight off Luke Evans coming hot on the inside. And he got a great jump off the corner, but now he needs to find his way underneath, or rather in front of the 86, and he's not going to be able to make it. Luke Evans has made both of the races he's attempted so far this season, and now he's finding his way into a feature spot. Now we got Richard Fridge fighting to the inside of Jonathan Wong and trying to see if he can track down the 86 car. And it looks like he might be able to get there as he gets to the inside of the 86, almost makes contact coming out of turn number 2. And Evans is out of the groove and Fridge is down to the line. The 15 makes the pass and now he's in second place. Richard Morris coming in hot now as Luke Evans is about to drift back to 4th place. Morris with a great run in the middle of the corner. Luke Evans trying to fight back to the inside, to the outside rather. And now Morris makes the pass for 3rd. Can he get to the back end of the 15 car before this one's over? 10 laps to go in heat number 2. Trying to see what he can do after he made the race at Twin Ring. Blake Andrews was one of the original 6 in the part-time Truck Series stable. Obviously qualified for Columbia, but hasn't seen the track since, at least in a feature race capacity. Now he's at the back of the field as he's trying to fight with the rest of the crew, many of which do not have much of a shot at this point, as we see Vincent Stromberg trying to fight from the last starting spot and gets to the inside of Luke Evans to take 4th place. And it looks like he's going to be able to clear. Well, he's got his nose clear, but can he clear him completely? It looks like he does, as we got traffic here in the back of the field. These are these final 4 competitors. We're looking on board Jonathan Wong, who's fallen back from his front row spot. That's a gigantic tumble for the 2nd place runner at the start. On his outside, Gabe Finney. Both of those drivers side by side are making their first starts of the season. It's that iconic 43 trying to see if he can find his way back and get a few spots, but slowly losing the front pack as he continues to drift back. Isaac Nichols trying to attempt his 2nd Truck Series race, missed his first at Twin Ring. He's trying to fight his way to the front of this pack. Meanwhile, at the very front of the race, Tristan Ludette, 3 laps to go. Hasn't had any competition since he started on the pole. And right now, Richard Fridge continues to hold the 2nd spot. Richard Morris in 3rd place. Hasn't been able to get back to him. He had a close call with him a few laps ago, but he is still continuing to fade as he can't find his way around, find a quicker lane on the racetrack. Bridge is kind of running that upper groove. It seems like the grip has finally come in there. White flag flies for Tristan Ludette. And Richard Fridge currently in the other position that's going to make it to the next round if they're able to hold it, and it looks like they will. Rounding out turn number 4, Tristan Ludette takes the win in heat number 2. Richard Fridge going to be the other driver that's going to qualify for the main feature race. As we take a look at the results from that one, Richard Morris comes home third. He'll have to head to Trenton to see if he'll make his second Truck Series start. Luke Evans is going to also be going back to Trenton, see if he can make his third. Vincent Strongberg, the newcomer, not able to make it. Blake Andrews continues to be underwhelming since he made that start at Columbia. Jonathan Wong, Isaac Nichols, Gabe Finney going to be the back 3 in this heat. And we're going to get ready to head into heat number 3 now. Another 9 drivers ready to take on the track. Nick Rail and Aiden Wilder will be on the front row for this one. Benjamin Roberts and Derek Northrup make up row number 2. Daniel Makimo and Addison Steinbeck, 2 newcomers, making up row number 3. Zach Griffin and Lucas Setz in row number 4. Diego Yepes, the final spot in heat number 3. They come off the corner and the green flag flies on heat number 3. And a great jump by Nick Rail as he immediately clears the 08 of Aiden Wilder. Nick Rail has been racing since week number 2, but he hasn't found his way into a feature race yet. He might be able to find his way into this one, the inaugural Nfrn Open Modified Series. As we're looking at a big clump of cars as Diego Yepes trying to find his way back to the front. We see Benjamin Roberts, who made the truck race at Twin Ring Motegi in his first attempt. And he's trying to find his way to the inside of Aiden Wilder. Oh, it looks like they might have made contact there, or at least the 23 got very loose. And Wilder trying to see what he can do. He also tried to attempt week number 3, or race number 3 rather, and didn't make it. Now Roberts on his inside. They're still very close, but the 23 trying to get the edge and get the spot to make it into the feature. And around turn number 3 and 4, it looks like the 23 has him cleared, as Daniel Makimo also trying to take a spot. And it looks like he's going to be close to getting it as well. We see Lucas Setz back here, hasn't made a race since Columbia, which was one of the original 6 drivers as well. He's currently in a 3-wide situation with Addison Steinbeck and Zach Griffin. That's a very dangerous situation to make contact, and the 2 gets out of line very high on the racetrack. That's why you don't run 3 wide in the middle of these corners, otherwise contact's going to happen. Luckily we didn't see a wreck there, but Zach Griffin shuffles back to the rear of the field. Now Addison Steinbeck works his way into 6th place and trying to see if he can find his way to the front as we're about to hit the halfway point of the race. Chasing down Derek Northrup, who's made every truck race so far this season. Another one of those guys we're surprised that he's not up there contending for this battle, but he's back here in the mid-pack and looking like he might not make this race either. And Steinbeck's starting to already pull back up against to him. Diego Yepes also trying to make a move on Steinbeck. Aiden Wilder and Daniel Makimo have fallen back from Benjamin Roberts here in 3rd and 4th place. Almost going to be contending with each other, but they are a bit far back from getting into contention spots now as they continue to cycle the track, and Diego Yepes is starting to make moves on cars now, 2/3 of the way into the race as he's found his way from 9th to 6th place. Made it past 3 cars so far, trying to see if he can track down the 00 car. Now we're looking at Roberts again, and we mentioned that he made the race at Twin Ring. He had a very sour race as he crashed early on, but still looked impressive to make the race at all. Daniel Makimo is one of the newcomers this week, currently running 4th place. And it looks like he's going to be slipping a little bit further back from these guys, and he's not going to make this debut in the Nfrn Open Modified Series. Neither is Derek Northrup, as he continues to run the line, similar to what these guys at the front are as they take the white flag. Nick Rail and Benjamin Roberts looking like the transfer spots right now. On the backstretch coming into turn number 3 and 4, the 52 car comes around, and he's going to take the checkered flag on heat number 3. Benjamin Roberts following just behind. And thus ends another heat up here at White Mountain Motorsports Park. We are halfway through the day. Nick Rail and Benjamin Roberts, the two drivers, moving on to the feature event. Aiden Wilder just outside. Daniel Mackamo as well. Derek Northrup not going to make the show. Big disappointment that neither of the drivers that have made all three starts this season not going to make this race. Addison Steinbeck in 6th place. Diego Yepes, Zach Griffin, 7th and 8th place. Lucas Setz, one of the original 6 drivers, has to round out the field in this one. Not having a handling car today. On to group number 4. James Johnson leads the way alongside Derek Hamill. Carson Mitchell and Aiden Feith will make up row number 2. Etienne Jones and Ashlyn Boyd in row number 3. Cameron Vargo and Christian Vargas in row number 4. And Tyler Bate in the final spot. And we'll see the green flag for this heat fly. Side by side are James Johnson and Derek Hamill, but looks like the 39 is going to get the advantage on the inside. Hamill trying to keep to the outside, make a move in turn number 3, but it's not going to be enough. He'll have to find his way inside and maybe make a crossover move if he can, but it looks like he's got company in Carson Mitchell, who's found his way to the back of Derek Hamill. Isn't able to pull off the pass and trying to see if he can on the 63, who's making his first attempt this week. Mitchell's been in for a few weeks now. And right now they're running side by side in turns 3 and 4. But Mitchell got a great run off the corner, and he's going to take the spot as Hamill on the high outside of the groove. Now being tracked down by Etienne Jones, who tried to qualify for race number 3 at Twin Ring, did not make the show. If he can make a move on the 63, he might have a chance to stay in contention for this one. And it looks like Hamill got a little bit outside, and Jones didn't capitalize on that one. As we're a third of the way into this race, Ashlyn Boyd at the back of the field looking at this traffic jam right ahead of me, including Feith, Cameron Vargo, Christian Vargas. A lot of shuffling going on in this pack as they try to find the grip. Aiden Feith tried to qualify last week as well. Didn't make the show. Ashlyn Boyd is in his new coming race this week. Also in that field is Christian Vargas, who's on the outside and falling back to 6th place with Tyler Bate on the inside. Now Aiden Feith trying to fight for position. Cameron Vargo's made a race. He made Pikes Peak earlier on, and he had a pretty good showing in that race, but was not able to make race number 3 as he actually got into the wall a little bit right there, and he's going to fade a little, which might put his chances of qualifying into the next heat in jeopardy. Tyler Bate made the race at Columbia as one of the original 6, but also, in addition to a couple other drivers, has not seen a start since. Trying to see if he can make the show here, but 5th place on the outside of what's about to become a 3-wide situation, really squeezing upward. Christian Vargas keeping those guys all the way up the racetrack and giving them no room as he fights his way all the way into 5th place in one turn. A pretty gutsy move right there, but one that he makes it stick and no one gets into huge trouble. James Johnson continues to lead this one after 12 laps. Etienne Jones is trying to see if he can track down Carson Mitchell, but with only 3 laps left to go, this is going to be a difficult one. Mitchell is keeping his line, and it looks like he's able to. He's almost actually looking like he's getting a little closer to James Johnson, but it's not going to matter who gets the final victory. It's going to matter who are the top 2 to get into the feature race. As we see Tyler Bate and Aiden Feith fighting back there for 8th place. White flag flies on heat number 4, and it looks like it's going to be all James Johnson in this one. Able to stick to the lead, with Carson Mitchell able to make the move to the inside and get the 2nd spot, but James Johnson is going to take heat number 4. We'll take a look at the results from this heat, and it's going to be James Johnson and Carson Mitchell moving on to the main feature event. Etienne Jones is going to be just outside, and missing this one, Derek Hamill, Christian Vargas, 2 drivers that are newcomers this week, are not going to make it either. Cameron Vargo is in 6th place. Ashlyn Boyd, another newcomer, in 7th. Aiden Feith takes 8th spot, and he's just going to beat out Tyler Bate, one of those first 6 drivers of the Park Time Truck Series. And now we move on to our final group of the day. And this will set our final 2 spots of the feature event. Justin Zeidel and Steven Schaff on the front row. Juan Garcia and Kyle Langland in row number 2. William Seaman and Fred Bow in row 3. Donnie Williams and Carter Thiessen in row 4. Jeff Cabico, the big-time runner in race number 3, starts in the rear of the field. We have the green flag on heat number 5. And it looks like Steven Schaff actually got a great jump out there, but it looks like he's not going to be able to clear Justin Zeidel, as the 98 is going to look to get back to the inside. Schaff momentarily gets ahead, but he's not going to be able to make it to the inside as he got a 3-wide situation. Juan Garcia making some contact with Justin Zeidel. That's the pole sitter right there, and now they're still 3 wide as they enter the next turn. And Steven Schaff's going to be on the outside groove and fall back all the way to 4th place, and now William Seaman enters the conversation. Zeidel continues to run that outside line, trying to see if he can get around Garcia. Now Garcia slips in the middle of the turn and falls back to 3rd as Zeidel continues to run the outside but stays in contention spot. They might have made a little bit of contact there between the 29 and the 98, and still 3 wide they go. Intense competition at the front of the field as they try to find their way into the show. Now Zeidel back in 3rd place. William Seaman in the 2nd spot on the outside. Zeidel might have the opportunity to get to the inside here, and he will take it as Garcia takes the lead. Now side by side they continue to go. Zeidel and Seaman trying to see who can get that 2nd spot. Back here we see Carter Thiessen, another one of the original 6. Also has not made another start so far this season. Halfway through the race, he's back here in 7th spot, trying to see if he can gain some ground. Now we see Zeidel has made it to the inside of Garcia, and this might be an opportunity to open the door for William Seaman. And he might get there. Garcia on the outside, and the 29 on the inside. He gets the spot now, and he's able to clear him here. The 98 and the 29 in the spots right now. Intense competition here in this 5th heat for the lead, more than we've seen all day. And they are really trying to work it out here. Who's going to be the final 2 drivers to get into the show? And Garcia is starting to fade back a little bit. Seaman continues to run 2nd place to Zeidel. We look a little bit further back in the field and see where the competition's running. Steven Schaff's fallen all the way back to 6th place at this point. Going to make the move on Carter Thiessen for 5th place, but Donnie Williams now going to make the move inside the 49 car. And how about up here? We got Jeff Cabico. He started in the last spot, but we obviously mentioned he started really impressive in his Truck Series career, getting a great top 5 at Twin Ring. And obviously the qualifying session didn't go the way he wanted, but he immediately showed that he could run with these guys, but now he's on the high outside. He's going to fall all the way back to 6th place. As Zeidel, with 2 laps to go, continues to maintain the lead. William Seaman in the 29 just behind him. It looks like those 2 guys are going to take the spots as Juan Garcia doesn't look like he has much to go. White flag flies on heat number 5. The final 2 spots about to be determined for the feature race right here. And Zeidel and Seaman come around the corner, and they are going to take the checkered flag and move on to the next round. And more contact as a couple of guys go around. And that's Carter Thiessen and Steven Schaff that crashed into turn number 1. Second time we've seen an incident after the checkered flag. Both the 71 and the 49 with some damage. Last time the wreck happened between Adam Lewis and Jordan Probst. Now let's see what happened here. Oh, man, it kind of looks like the 71 went down on Carter Thiessen, and I don't know what that might have been referring to, if anything. Jeff Cabico might have been involved a little bit, and you can see he kind of runs into both of those guys. I question if they might have been... If Schaff might not have known that they had finished running, and he might have gone down in the corner thinking they had another lap left to go. But either way, a bizarre situation at the end of this race that will see Justin Zeidel and William Seaman make it into the feature events, and that sets our field of 10 for this 30-lapper. Juan Garcia fought his way up to the front for a momentary amount of time, but was not able to pull it off. Donnie Williams gets his way into 4th place, Carter Thiessen 5th, and Steven Schaff 6th after they made that contact at the end of the race. Jeff Cavaco came up strong but fell back to 7th, Kyle Langland in 8th, and Fred Bow 9th place this week. So the A main lineup is set, and we do have qualifying results from that one. Benjamin Roberts and Carson Mitchell will line up in the first row. Justin Zeidel and Richard Fridge in the second. James Johnson and William Seaman in the third row. Tristan Ludette and Brandon Figueroa in the fourth row. Tanya Breyer and Nick Rail in the fifth row. So 10 drivers trying to duke it out in these final 30 laps to see who's going to take home the first Open Modified Series race. Green flag flies. And Roberts immediately breaks away from Carson Mitchell, but Justin Zeidel already back to his corner and trying to see if he can take the spot. Coming up closer as James Johnson started in 5th place. As that outside line fell back, the inside line came up, and Johnson trying to stay in contention this one. Zeidel loose off the corner, can't make the move on Roberts here. Johnson making it 3 wide out of turn number 4. Continuing the run that way. And now the 39 finds its way to the front. Roberts all the way back to now around 3rd place, fighting with Tristan Ludette for 4th. Johnson has that inside line, able to get the advantage on Zeidel. Meanwhile, battles continue to rage on back here as Figueroa, Richard Fridge side by side, Carson Mitchell and Nick Rail side by side. This is for the mid-pack spots. And another 3 wide situation as William Seaman. Oh, contact there! Carson Mitchell shuffled to the outside. Seaman will take advantage of that one. Trying to see if he can get a little bit further as another 3 wide situation unfolds there. The 29 to the inside. More contact between the 52 and the 15. And they're still touching down in turn 3 and 4. Those guys refuse to stay off of each other as they are trying to fight back mightily. All these guys are top tier as they were able to run the top 2 in that in their heats. But they're really not giving each other any space. Looks like Tristan Ludette's trying to find his way to the inside of Tanya Breyer for 3rd place. At this point, you're looking for the win now, not the top 2. You're giving it all out on the racetrack that you can as the 1 car moves into 3rd place. Breyer looking for a great run in her debut in the NFRN. And we see Benjamin Roberts trying to find his way to the inside as well. And now both of those cars are going to get to the inside of Tristan Ludette as the one has shuffled up the outside. And Roberts might want to try to take advantage of these guys running side by side. And it looks like they're still trying to fight it out. And I think the 23 is taking it cautious and trying not to wreck himself in the process. But that's also allowing the 39 and the 98 to get away. 12 laps in, and James Johnson has established himself in the lead. Justin Zeidel trying to chase him down. They went 3 wide as they tried to battle for the position, and Johnson came out on top. Brandon Figueroa trying to hold off the 3 cars behind him. William Seaman still trying to fight for position. Somehow he fell back once again. And now trying to get to the inside of the 20 car. Carson Mitchell also going to try to follow him as the 20 falls out of the groove. 29 fights his way into 7th place now. Mitchell looking for 8th. And now he's going to see if he can just make a move on both of them as the 29 gets to the outside. And it looks like he's going to be able to get there. Meanwhile, in the back, Richard Fridge looking like he might have a little bit of a problem because he cannot catch up with any of these guys as he tries to run this outside line, which offers a lot of speed, and obviously the inside gets them a little loose on the outside that allows them to make passes, but the 15 just doesn't seem like he's able to catch back up. Meanwhile, further up, Tristan Ludette's fallen back to 5th and fading as Roberts and Breyer continue to battle for 3rd place. 23 made the race at Twin Ring, but he has not found a considerable amount of success in the NFRN yet. Could he find his way into a podium position here? As James Johnson comes around about 2/3 of the way through this race, continues to hold the lead over Justin Zaidel. Johnson, a newcomer into the league this week, out of the UK, trying to see if he can put his modified into victory lane. Battles continue to rage on near the back of the field as we see Figueroa trying to make his move to the inside of the 4. Loose off the corner, but holds it down there in the corner. Trying to force his way around. A lot of difficulty passing on this race course, but they're still trying to make it work, and the 20 might be able to catch it here. Nick Rail in the 52, trying to see what he can do. After winning one of the recent stages, he's going to try to fight his way back into a top 5 position, but doesn't look like he's going to have contention for this lead. Neither is William Seaman, just a spot behind him. He's let the 20 and the 4 fight behind him, but in that mix, he's been unable to catch back up to the leaders. 6 laps to go in this one as we see onboard Justin Zaidel trying to track down James Johnson. And we see that they're kind of running a similar line. It looks like the 98 is a little lower on the racetrack, trying to see if he can find the grip. And you can see James Johnson slipped up a little bit right there, got out of the groove, and the 98 might be able to try to make something work out of that as he runs a lower line. 39 getting out of the groove now, and this is allowing the 98 to catch up a little bit. Zaidel trying to fight his way back and see if he can take the win in this Open Modified Series race. The first round of 4 that we'll see a few times this year for part-time truck drivers, giving them the opportunity to try to show their stuff. James Johnson trying to see if he can take that first round as Zaidel continues to run just behind him. The 98 continues to try to run just a slightly lower line to the 39. But can he actually catch back up as we hit the white flag lap? James Johnson going to see if he can keep it on the line for one more lap. He runs the upper line just around the dark stuff, and James Johnson comes off turn number 4 and takes the first round of the NFRN Open Modified Series. A big victory today for James Johnson, a great run in his debut race. He'll take the victory here today at White Mountain Motorsports Park. We see the results from this one. James Johnson at the top of the leaderboard. Justin Zaidel just come a little bit short. Tanya Bray, a really impressive run considering she came from the last row of the grid. 9th place to 3rd. Great run from her. Benjamin Roberts in 4th place. Tristan Ludetz looking like he had a chance at that one but fell back to 5th. Nick Rail in 6th place. William Seaman didn't have much of a shot here as he ran up in 7th place. Carson Mitchell, Brandon Figueroa, and Richard Fridge in the back 3. That is going to do it from this inaugural NFRN Open Modified Series event. We hope you all will join us for our next race at Portland around race number 8 for the Truck Series. And we hope you'll stay tuned for the Truck Series race number 4 at Trenton coming right up. Thanks for joining us, everybody.